What's the process of if someone new were to come in, getting them ready for a game in a couple days?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just getting with the coaches. I think our coaches do a great job of getting guys up to speed, and you've seen that throughout this year already. Bringing in guys, getting them up to speed fast, and then letting them go out there and make impact and do what they're great at. And so that's stuff that I think the coaches really do well. And then at me as a quarterback, I just try to be on the same page with the guys that are in there whenever I'm taking a snap.
Patrick, hypothetically, you had a receiver that was good at contested catches. Like, what's your comfort level in throwing like that, those sorts of throws?
Yeah, I think in my time, we've had receivers that can make some of those contested catches, and once you build that relationship and build that trust, you put them up there and let guys go out there and make plays. I think that's what's special about Coach Reed's offense is that it adapts to whoever's in there. He has different ways he can utilize your strengths, and then it's my job to go out there and put guys in chances, give them chances to go out there and make plays.
What's your biggest takeaway, Patrick, going through the experience before the past 2 years of bringing in a receiver midseason? What are perhaps a good takeaway that you learned from it and something that you can use from that experience for this new one?
I think the biggest thing for me is whenever a new guy gets into the building, is just getting on that same page as quickly as possible. Even with guys like Kareem in the running back position, just being able to talk with him throughout the protection calls, talk with him kind of throughout the plays, making sure he knows what his job is to do, and then letting him go out and execute it. And I've dealt with that throughout my entire career, bringing new guys in. That's part of the NFL. And like I said, I think the coaches do a great job of making sure guys are prepared and so they can go out there and have success.
Patrick, what do you remember most about that last Raiders game last year, and what sort of it did for you guys, the mentality after that?
I think more than anything, more than even the play on the field, I think it was just a wake-up call for us to know that we're not going to be able to just come to the game and win. We kind of battled through the year, and it was like everybody was we were just trying to build, especially I feel like myself, we were just building for the playoffs. We weren't even worried about the regular season, and I think you've seen that mentality since then as the guys are really taking every single practice and getting the best out of it so that every single week we can play our best football. And if we don't play our best football, we try to get better that next week. And I think that's translated into this season. And so we're continuing to get better as the season goes on, and that's how you have to play in the NFL. And it's still early, but I feel like we've had a great start to it.
Does it seem to be that it would be just as much that way, you're just as conscious of that way as ever now that you're actually playing the Raiders again, like that mentality is what will be front of your mind?
Yeah, I mean, we know we're going to get their best shot. I mean, that's kind of how it's been every single week. But obviously when you play a divisional opponent, like I've said in the past, it's a real rivalry between our two teams and our two organizations. You're going to get their best shot, and we're gonna go out there and match that and let the best team win.
Is there any more to this one? I know they all count the same, divisional games, whatever, but you know, the talk afterwards that they have the secret, how to stop you, the little Kermit the Frog thing, all that stuff. Does that resonate with you at all this week?
I mean, I don't know if you would say resonates with me. I think just knowing that the competitive spirit that they have on that side is going to match the competitive spirit that we have. I think it's going to be a fun football game that we're going to get the best out of each and every player on that football field. And like I said, the best team will win.
Patrick, with a guy like Max Crosby, what do you have to be mindful of when you're back there?
Yeah, I mean, you have to know where he's at on every single snap because he plays extremely hard every single snap, and he's extremely talented. And to have a guy that be that talented and to have that high of a motor, that's special. It takes a lot because you don't always feel great, and you might not be getting. He gets chipped or he gets whatever it is. He doesn't let that bother him. He doesn't let that affect him. He just keeps playing extremely hard every single snap, and so a great challenge for us to go up against him in that defense. And so I think the guys are ready for it.
Next one, you guys have jogged back and forth a little bit, you and Max. How would you describe the respect level between you guys, when it is off the field?
Yeah, it's a high level of respect. I mean, I respect guys that are going to leave it out there every single snap and do whatever they can to let their team have a chance to win. And that's the type of guys I want in this building. And that's what you see with guys on our team is that guys are going to lay it on the line every single snap to win the football game. And that's what it takes to be great in this league. Because I mean, everybody's good. I mean, everybody's good in this league. It's about who's going to do the extra thing, the extra step, the extra pass rusher, the extra throw, whatever it is, to make sure their team has a better chance to win. And he's one of those guys. And we're on the field. We're going to compete. That's the type of guys that we are. But we have a ton of respect mutually between each other off of it.
Let's go across the room, Adam. Go ahead, Mike.
Just not to linger on this too much, Patrick, but that shot you took to the throat the other day, did you hear anything from Collins, or you Do you have any reason to know by now whether it was inadvertent or you felt bad about it?
I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's not like anyone got hurt or anything like that. I mean, I threw an interception. I was more upset about the interception than actually getting hit. So whenever you throw an interception, you set yourself up to get hit by somebody, and so that's on me.
Quarterbacks who spend so much time with receivers during their offseason, I mean, bring guys down there and work with them. How big of a difference is it between having that whole offseason to work with a guy and that short time? I mean, clearly it's a difference, but how big of a difference is it for timing and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it probably affects some things, I think, at least initially, but at the same time, I mean, in this league, you have to be able to adapt fastly, and I think that's something that we've been great at is putting guys in position to succeed, getting the reps when we can throughout the week, and then at the end of the day, you got to go out there and play football, and obviously you want as much time as possible, but at the same time, you have to be able to adapt and on the fly and make stuff happen whenever you're out there.
Your long run down the sideline last week, people have kind of gone back and looked at it. They think it was like somewhat controversial. It looked like you were going to go out of bounds. What's that line like to make sure that they don't think you're going out of bounds and following whatever rules are, as far as like the unwritten rules of football?
I didn't believe on that play right there I was really showing like I was going to go out of bounds. I don't want to ever put a defender in a bad spot. I mean, I know that we're all competing, so I'm going to, when I go out of bounds, I'm going to go out of bounds. I'm not going to try to fake a guy out by using like a loophole in the rules. At the time, I was going to cut back and get the first down. And then once I cut back, I was going to do one of those dives for the first down, but I cut back and realized I had a lane to run. So I went down the sideline, and then, I mean, I literally ran out of bounds on that exact play. So when I go out of bounds, I'm going to go out of bounds. And whenever I'm trying to get a first down, I'll get a first down. But I'm not trying to use a loophole or anything in the rules to try to cheat in any way.
Go ahead.
Patrick, last Friday night, you guys got to be on hand for a pretty good high school football game. Got to watch Coach Nagy's son lead a game-winning drive. How important is it for professionals such as yourselves to have a presence like that in the community?
Yeah, I mean, one, in the community, I think the Chiefs organization in general has had a great history of having a great presence in the community. It's something that Clark Hunt talks about in the first meeting we have every single year is giving back to the community because they give so much to us and being at Arrowhead every single week and showing support to our foundations. And so just being out there, being at a game, being at a sport I love, letting my kids run around, and then seeing Coach Nagy's son and Coach Merritt's son go at it. I mean, those kids I've seen grow up. So it's cool to see them live out their dream. Both of them will move on and go to Division I colleges. And so it was cool to see their last matchup that they'll get to go up against each other, and it was a great football game.
We'll do our last four. Go ahead, Adam.
Patrick, in what ways have you seen Kareem make a difference in the running game since?
Yeah, I think he's just done a great job of getting what's there and then making plays whenever his number is called. He seems like every single time he's falling forward, getting 5 yards, 6 yards, whatever it is, and that makes my job easier at the quarterback position and the offense just in general when you're in those advantageous situations and down and distances. And so Kareem has done a great job. He's done a great job not only running the ball, catching the ball. He's done a great job in pass protection. And I think as we start getting more and more guys back and healthier, he might not have to have 30 carries or whatever it is, but whenever he gets his opportunity, he's going to go out there and make it count.
Along the lines of the high school question, on behalf of all the Texas affiliates, you've been inducted to the Texas High School Hall of Fame. Just your comments on just your memories of playing at White House and what an honor it is to be with such a great, illustrious history of high school football in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I brag about it all the time. I think Texas high school football is the best in the world, just because the way that you have pride in the area that you're from and how you've grown up. And I played the high school football with the same kids I played Little League baseball with, and that's just how it is in Texas. Is you grow up with that dream, and it's like the movie Friday Night Lights, and you grow up with that dream of winning a state championship. I wasn't able to do that then, but we had a lot of fun times, and I still look back and watch. Even last week, I looked at the record of my high school football team. I just had so much pride in the area that I grew up in, and it's a tremendous honor to be in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame just because of all the great players and great people that are in it.
Patrick, I know that there's been obviously a perception that Travis is not great at blocking, but from your example of watching him and seeing what he's done this season, what do you think people don't realize about how effective he can be at blocking?
Yeah, I think he's a winner, man. I think that's more than anything. He doesn't care how we win. He doesn't care if he's getting catches. He doesn't care what it is. He's going to make an impact on the game, and that's what he's done this year. He's had games where he's caught the ball and made plays in the receiving game. He's had games where he's made critical blocks to get other guys open, and you need those type of guys on your team. And it's the little things that help you win those games at the end of the day. And he takes it upon himself to do the little things right so that he can go out there and we can have success as a team. And one of the best leaders I've been around, just because he'll do it all, and he doesn't have to. And so it shows everybody else that you better pick your game up, because the Hall of Famer is out there blocking his tail off harder than anybody.
Last one, man. Kind of a similar question, but resiliency has been a trademark of the culture around here for a long time. You're a big part of that. But guys come and go. Not everyone has that attitude. Everyone here seems to have it. Where's that championship mentality come from, do you think?
Yeah, it's a culture that I was even brought into. Coach Reed built a great culture with guys, a lot of leaders, Derek Johnson, Justin Houston, Alex Smith, these guys that kind of turned this organization into a time where it wasn't winning as much to where it is now, and I was able to join in that, and I kind of followed suit, and I just try to make my own impact with the guys that I have around me. And every single time we get a young guy in, we go to work, we have the extreme hard training camp, whatever it is, and then we come into the season ready to go out there and compete. And so it becomes a family-like atmosphere. And
are you ready for some holiday cheer with a dash of romance? Lifetime is about to serve up a festive treat with their new Christmas rom-com Christmas in the Spotlight, and fans of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are already buzzing with excitement. Although the movie doesn't explicitly mention the superstar couple, the storyline about a pop icon and a football player falling in love amid the glare of the public eye has Swifties and Chiefs fans drawing comparisons. After all, who could ignore the similarities between the fictional love story and the real-life romance of two of the biggest names in pop culture, set to premiere on November 16th as part of Lifetime's It's a Wonderful Lifetime lineup. The film stars Jessica Lord as Bowen, a talented artist, and Laith Walschlager as Drew, a professional football player. Sparks fly as the two navigate the pressures of fame and naturally love blooms. And yes, it sounds cringeworthy. Sound familiar? The parallels between the movie and the Swift-Kelce relationship are hard to miss, though there's no official confirmation that they inspired the film. Still, fans can't help but speculate, especially since Swift has been open about her love for the holiday season. One insider claims that Swift is aware of the film but hasn't had time to watch a screener. Taylor loves a tacky Christmas flick, but whether she'll like this one is another thing. The source shared, adding a playful nod to Swift's busy schedule with her record-breaking Eras tour. The film's plot may even take a cheeky swipe at recent rumors, including a fabricated breakup contract that circulated about Swift and Kelce. As for Kelce, the football star has been just as smitten with Swift, publicly praising her attention to detail and the magic she brings to any situation. The media frenzy surrounding their romance has only fueled more speculation about how much of Christmas in the Spotlight mirrors their own story. So, whether you're a Swiftie or just love a feel-good holiday rom-com, Christmas in the Spotlight is bound to deliver some festive fun. As Taylor once said, "I love the holiday season, and the music is a big part of that." With that in mind, grab some hot cocoa, cozy up, and get ready to enjoy a holiday movie that might just offer a playful nod to one of pop culture's hottest couples. Travis Kelce says he had FOMO missing Taylor Swift's Eras tour in Miami. "I wish I was there." Shout out to Tay-Tay for powering through a few rain shows there. The Kansas City Chiefs tight end said of his girlfriend's 3 shows in Miami. Speaking on the latest episode of the New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce podcast, released Wednesday, October 23rd, the Kansas City Chiefs tight end, 35, revealed that he was sad to miss out on his girlfriend Taylor Swift's shows in Miami over the weekend after his brother Jason Kelce and their mother Donna Kelce attended the October 18th show. Jason's wife Kylie Kelce and their daughters Wyatt Elizabeth, 5, and Elliot Ray, 3, were also in attendance. The couple also shared daughter Bennett Llewellyn, who was born in February 2023. "Well, I had all the FOMO in the world with the entire family and a lot of our friends being there," Travis said. "I had a bunch of friends that were also down by the stage, that had been to a few shows overseas, and they were saying the same thing that you're saying. The Miami Stadium was just on another level. Dude, it was incredible," Jason, 36, said. "It was incredible." Travis added, "Man, I wish I was there." "Everyone had a good time," Jason said when speaking about the family's time at Swift's show. "Not only did everyone have a good time, but everybody has been texting over the last couple of days since then like, dude, she's just incredible." He added, "The show's incredible, Miami was another level of it. I'm excited for her to be back on tour for this final leg of the Eras run here. It's pretty awesome. It was an incredible trip, so keep killing it, Tay." "Keep killing it," Travis agreed, After shouting out all his pals for coming to show, Jason pointed out that it was his mother and daughter's first Eras Tour show, Donna Kelce's first show, Elliot Kelce's first show, Wyatt Kelce's first show, he said. It was an awesome time down there, man, he continued, adding that the atmosphere was insane and the place erupted when Swift came out in the rain. And shout out to Tay-Tay for powering through a few rain shows there, Travis added. Swift concluded 3 nights in Miami on Sunday, October 20th, thanking her fans after her performances at the Hard Rock Stadium. The pop superstar wrote, "The Eras Tour is back and the 3 Miami crowds we just got to play for were on a new level. With only 5 cities left to play before it's over, I knew I was going to be savoring every moment up on that stage, but the bewildering passion of those crowds really blew my mind," she added. It's been a rough season for fantasy managers who bet on the Kansas City Chiefs offense, but there's a reason to be optimistic that things will get better going forward. Per NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the Chiefs are acquiring DeAndre Hopkins from the Tennessee Titans in exchange for a 5th-round draft pick that can become a 4th-round selection. Hopkins isn't the fantasy monster from his peak, but last year with an unstable quarterback situation in Tennessee proved he can still be a valuable player. Things are much less certain for the incumbent pass catchers like Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy because they've been part of an offense that has contributed to Patrick Mahomes averaging a career-low 231.5 passing yards per game, leading the NFL with 8 interceptions and only having 6 touchdown passes through 6 games. Hopkins' stock immediately receives a huge boost because he's going from a Titans team that has been starting Will Levis and Mason Rudolph to playing with Mahomes. The Chiefs will likely be looking for Hopkins to fill the role that opened up when Rashee Rice suffered a knee injury in Week 4 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Rice's 33.7% target share at the time of the injury was the 2nd highest in the NFL. He had effectively taken over the role that Kelce used to have but no longer seemed capable of handling simply because of his age and physical decline. Hopkins won't have the explosiveness that Rice did after the catch because he's never been a speed merchant, and it's unlikely he has gotten faster now that he's 32. But he still has some of the most reliable hands of any pass catcher in the NFL. Kelce's fantasy value might go down slightly, if it changes at all. It looked like he was going to be an elite fantasy producer once again in the wake of Rice's injury. He finished top 5 among all tight ends in PPR scoring in weeks 4 and 5, but he was back down to the TE29 in week 7 with 5.7 points against the San Francisco 49ers. You shouldn't drop Kelce because tight end isn't overflowing with high-end production in fantasy, but he's more matchup dependent at this point in his career. Sunday's game against the Las Vegas Raiders sounds appealing on paper because they don't have a good defense overall, but they allow the 7th fewest fantasy points per game to opposing tight ends. Mahomes should benefit from the addition of Hopkins. But he wasn't very effective as a fantasy player when Rice was healthy because of the turnovers. The 3-time Super Bowl MVP is the 22nd ranked quarterback overall and he has yet to score 20 fantasy points in a game this season. The list of quarterbacks with at least one 20-point game includes Daniel Jones, Derek Carr, Andy Dalton, Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco, Drake May, and Malik Willis. The turnovers are the thing that have really held Mahomes back in reality and fantasy this season. That was a problem when Rice was on the field. He will stop throwing interceptions at some point, but he has at least 1 in 17 of his